let's get something straight right now. And I mean, really hear me when I say this. Talent is not what separates winners from the rest. You've probably been told that some people are just born gifted, that greatness is in their blood, that they're lucky, that they just have it. Let me tell you the truth. That's a lie. That belief keeps people average. It keeps people stuck. It gives them an excuse to not even try. Because if success is all about talent and you weren't born with it, then why bother, right? But here's the reality that high performers, high achievers, and game changers live by. It's not talent. It's work. It's showing up when it's uncomfortable. It's pushing when no one is watching. It's choosing discipline when motivation is gone. It's failing, getting back up, and doing it again better. Success isn't handed out. It's earned in the dark, in silence, when no one's cheering, when you're tired, when it hurts, when it would be so easy to quit. But you don't. That's the difference. Look, I'm not saying talent doesn't matter at all. Sure, natural ability might get you started faster, but hard work is what keeps you going. There are millions of talented people who never do anything with it. You know what they end up with? Regret, wasted potential. And that's one of the saddest things in the world, knowing you could have, but you didn't because you thought talent would carry you. And then there's the other kind of person, the one with average skill, but relentless effort, the one who keeps swinging even when they miss, the one who studies harder, trains longer, stays up later, wakes up earlier. That's the one who breaks through. That's the one who rises. That's the one who builds something nobody saw coming. You want to know why? Because that person earned it. They built habits when others made excuses. They took the stairs while others waited for the elevator. They stayed hungry when others got comfortable. If you ever told yourself, I'm not as smart, or I'm not that talented, or I'm not lucky like them, pause. Look me in the eye and hear this. You don't need to be born great. You need to become great. And that happens through work, relentless work, consistent effort, showing up when it's hard, pushing through resistance. Do it again, and again, and again, until one day it clicks. People will call you an overnight success, but they won't see the years behind it. They won't see the nights you doubted yourself, but kept going. They won't see the mornings you got up when your body screamed to stay down. They won't see the times you kept going with nothing but belief. That's the power of hard work. So stop looking for shortcuts. Stop praying for a lucky break. Stop comparing your chapter 2 to someone else's chapter 20. You don't need more talent. You need more consistency. You don't need perfect timing. You need grit. You don't need everyone to believe in you. You need to believe in yourself enough to keep working, even when no one claps. Because I promise you, the grind will reward you. Not instantly, but definitely. The work you put in today, it's your foundation. And every day you show up, you pour another brick. And one day, you'll look back, standing on a life you built. Not because you were lucky, not because you were gifted, but because you did the work. This is your time. Not to wait, not to wish, to work. Let's go. Let's talk real for a second. Nobody's coming to save you. I know that's not what most people want to hear. It sounds harsh. It sounds cold. But sometimes the truth needs to hit you in the chest. Because sugarcoating it won't change your life. Facing it might. See, most of us grow up with this quiet belief that someone will show up eventually. Some moment will magically appear. Some person will notice your potential and open the door. Some hand will pull you up when you're down. But let me be honest, that moment, that person, that hand, it's you. It's not the government. It's not your boss. It's not your parents, your friends, or your favorite motivational speaker. It's you. You got to be the one to wake yourself up in the morning. You've got to be the one to choose better. You've got to be the one to say, enough is enough. I'm taking control of my life. The sooner you stop waiting for permission, the sooner your life will shift. Because every time you wait, you're giving your power away. Every time you think someone else is supposed to come fix your situation, you're putting your destiny in someone else's hands. You want something? Go get it. You hate where you are right now? Do something about it. You're tired of starting over, tired of being broke, tired of not feeling good enough? Start building the version of you that changes that story. Listen, life is tough. It's not fair. Things happen that you didn't ask for. Some people got a head start. Some people have it easier. And yeah, you might be tired, you might be discouraged, you might have every reason to fold. But you still have something powerful left. Choice. You can choose to rise. You can choose to dig deeper. You can choose to keep going, even when it's hard. That's what high achievers do. They don't wait around hoping the pain stops. They learn how to work through it. They don't wait for someone to come along and tell them they're worthy. They decide they already are. They don't wait to feel motivated. They get up and move anyway. Because here's the deal. Nobody's coming to build your dream for you. They're not coming to force you to eat right. They're not coming to make sure you finish that project. They're not coming to knock on your door and hand you confidence. That's your job, every single day. The good news? That means you don't have to wait anymore. You don't have to depend on anyone else's timeline. You can stop sitting in the passenger seat, hoping someone drives you to a better life. You can take the wheel right now. And when you do, everything changes. Suddenly, excuses start sounding weak. Complaining starts sounding useless. Waiting starts feeling like wasting, because you realize it's not about perfect conditions. It's about powerful decisions. You can be the person who gets up even when the alarm clock feels brutal. You can be the one who studies late while everyone else is out partying. You can be the one who trains harder, who pushes longer, who refuses to quit. And yeah, it's lonely sometimes. Taking responsibility is hard. Doing it yourself is hard. But you know what else is hard? Regret. Regret for the life you could have lived. Regret for the chances you didn't take. Regret for becoming a version of yourself you never respected. So, which heart are you going to choose? Look, this isn't about being superhuman. It's not about pretending life isn't hard. It's about choosing to show up anyway. It's about knowing your future self is counting on you right now. Not tomorrow, not next year. Now. Nobody's coming to save you. But that's not the bad news, that's the best news. Because that means you have the power. You have the responsibility. You have the pen in your hand. And you get to write the next chapter. Be the hero you were waiting for. Be the one who stands up when life knocks you down. Be the person your past self would be proud of. The world isn't waiting. Time isn't slowing down. So stop waiting to be rescued and start rescuing yourself. Your life is yours to build. Now go build it. Let's be real. The grind doesn't look glamorous. It's not flashy. It's not fun most days. It's early mornings when the world is still sleeping. It's showing up when nobody claps for you. It's doing the reps again and again when there's no spotlight, no crowd, no recognition. But let me tell you something powerful. The grind is where greatness lives. You don't become great by accident. You don't just stumble into success, into confidence, into fulfillment. You build it brick by brick, day by day, when nobody's watching, when nobody believes, when it's just you, the work, and the voice in your head telling you to quit. And you don't quit. That's where it happens. That's where the winners are made. Not in the highlight reels, not in the celebrations, but in the sweat, the sacrifice, the boring, brutal consistency. See, everyone wants the results. Everyone wants the praise. Everyone wants to glow up. But very few people want to wake up at 5 a.m. and train in silence. Very few want to turn down distractions and double down on effort. Very few want to grind. But high achievers, they live in that space. They thrive in it. They've learned to love the process more than the applause because they know the process is the path. The grind is a gift. You want to know what separates average from extraordinary? It's not IQ. It's not talent. It's not luck. It's grit. It's the willingness to show up on the days when everything in you wants to stay in bed. It's the decision to push through the plateau, to do one more rep, to stay an extra hour. It's not sexy, but it's real. The grind builds things you can't fake. It builds resilience. It builds confidence. It builds self-respect. Because let's be honest, you know when you're cutting corners. You know when you're playing small. You know when you're giving 60% and calling it good enough. And you also know what it feels like to give your all, to leave it all on the floor, to look in a mirror and say, I gave everything today. That feeling? That's what the grind gives you. Look at anyone you admire. Any athlete, any entrepreneur, any leader, any artist. What do they have in common? They put in work when no one else was watching. They said no to comfort. They said yes to discipline. They did the boring stuff for years before anyone cared. Because they understood this truth. You don't get what you want. You get what you're willing to grind for. The grind is where you grow the most. Not just physically or financially, mentally. It teaches you patience. It teaches you pain tolerance. It teaches you to keep your eyes on the vision, even when the results are slow. And that right there is key, because the grind isn't about instant payoff. It's about long-term investment. It's choosing to be a farmer, not a gambler. You plant the seeds. You water them. You wait. You trust. You don't dig them up every day asking, is it working? You just keep showing up. Keep doing the work. Keep getting better. Day after day. Quietly. Relentlessly. And then one day, boom, something clicks. Something shifts. And everybody says, wow, they came out of nowhere. No, you didn't. You came out of the grind. You came out of the discipline. You came out of the lonely nights. You came out of the days when you kept going even when it didn't feel like it was working. So if you're in the grind right now, good. That's exactly where you're supposed to be. It means you're building something real. It means you're growing roots so your success can last. And if it feels slow, keep going. If it feels thankless, keep going. If it feels hard, you're on the right path. Because greatness doesn't live at the finish line. It lives in the reps. It lives in routines. It lives in the days you don't quit. So stop looking for shortcuts. Stop chasing motivation. Start embracing the work. That's where the magic is. That's where the muscle is built. That's where the winners are forged. The grind is your training ground. The grind is your teacher. The grind is your advantage. So don't run from it. Run through it. Because greatness, it lives right here, in the grind. Section 3. Show up when it's boring. Here's a hard truth that most people don't want to admit. Success, growth, mastery, it's boring a lot of the time. And if you can't learn to show up when it's boring, you'll never make it to the level you dream about. See, people love to romanticize the grind. They talk about passion, purpose, goals, ambition, like every day is some movie montage with epic music and fireworks going off. But real growth? It's brushing your teeth with your non-dominant hand for 60 days to sharpen your brain. It's eating the same meal prep for a week because it keeps you fueled. It's studying the same material, running the same drills, writing the same lines, over and over and over. It's not glamorous. It's repetition. It's discipline. It's showing up when it's boring. And guess what? That's where the winners separate themselves. Because anyone can show up when it's exciting. Anyone can grind for a week when they're fired up. But high achievers, they keep going after the hype fades. They don't need fireworks. They don't need perfect weather. They've trained themselves to perform in silence. They've mastered the art of consistency. And that only happens when you stop needing to feel inspired every time you take action. You know what showing up when it's boring really is? It's an act of self-respect. It's saying, I don't just chase what's fun, I build what matters. Because let's face it, anyone can start. Most people do, but very few finish. Very few keep showing up when it feels like a slow grind, when nobody claps, when the routine feels like it's dragging. But that's exactly the moment you're building something others won't. It's in the boredom that your character gets built. Your resilience, your grit, that unshakable identity of someone who follows through. Think about the gym. The results don't come from one hype-fueled session. They come from doing the same exercises every week. Logging your sets, pushing your limits, rest, repeat. Think about a musician. It's not just a performance that makes them great. It's the hours in a quiet room practicing scales, again and again. Think about your mental health, your self-improvement, your business, your dream, your legacy. None of that grows on vibes and inspiration. It grows on discipline. And you don't learn discipline when it's fun. You learn it when it's dull, tedious, repetitive. But here's the kicker. Those boring days, they're the most powerful ones. They're the days you teach your brain. We don't quit just because it's not exciting. You build trust with yourself. You build habits that don't rely on mood swings. You build momentum that outlasts your emotions. It's like planting a seed. For a while, nothing looks like it's happening. The soil just sits there. No movement, no fanfare. But under the surface, something powerful is building, the root system. And without those roots, the tree won't survive the storm. That's what boring days are. They're your root system. They're the foundation for everything that's coming. You're not just repeating actions, you're shaping identity. You're becoming the kind of person who doesn't wait for motivation. You create it through movement. You want the edge most people will never have? Learn to fall in love with boring. Make it your ally. Embrace the repetition. Honor the mundane. Because here's what's wild. When you keep showing up through the boredom, something crazy happens. It starts to not feel boring anymore. You develop flow, rhythm, power. You start to feel strong, proud, focused. And that's not because life got more exciting. It's because you did. You rewired your relationship with routine. You stopped craving dopamine and started choosing discipline. And in a world addicted to shortcuts and quick highs, that makes you dangerous. So if today feels boring, good. That means you're in the right place. That means you're not chasing feelings. You're chasing greatness. So show up, do the work, eat the same meal, lift the same weight, reread the same page, and do it again tomorrow. Because the magic isn't hiding in the hype. It's right here in the silence, in the stillness, in the boring days that build unstoppable people. Show up when it's boring. That's how you win. Let's be real. You're going to fail. You're going to fall. You're going to mess up, get embarrassed, lose momentum, question everything, and wonder if it's all worth it. Good. Because that's how you know you're in the arena. Failure? That's the receipt for trying. Falling? That's gravity doing its job when you're climbing. But folding, giving up, shrinking back, quitting, that's the only thing that's optional. That's the only thing that can truly stop you. High achievers, they don't avoid failure. They don't run from it. They expect it. They embrace it. Because they know the journey to anything worthwhile is built on trial and error, not perfection. Look around. Every person you admire, the successful athlete, the entrepreneur, the artist, the leader, they've all failed. Publicly, privately, painfully. But what separates them is this. They failed, they fell, but they didn't fold. They used their setbacks as setups. They let their scars teach them something. They didn't waste time pretending it didn't hurt. But they also didn't stay stuck in that pain. And you shouldn't either. The fall is part of the process. It's how you learn what works, what doesn't, who you are when it's not going your way. It exposes your weaknesses so you can strengthen them. It reveals where your mindset breaks so you can rebuild it stronger. But folding, that's a choice. That's when you let the fear of failure become more powerful than your desire to grow. That's when you decide the story ends there, instead of using it as a new beginning. Look, failing hurts. There's no sugarcoating that. But you know what hurts more? Regret, wishing you'd kept going, wondering what could have happened if you just pushed a little longer, tried one more time, gave yourself another shot. So stop treating failure like it's the enemy. Start treating it like a teacher. Because failure isn't the opposite of success, it's the path to it. Let me put it like this. You don't get strong by avoiding the weight. You don't get wise by dodging mistakes. You don't grow confidence by never falling. You grow it by getting up every single time you do. And here's the truth no one tells you. Most people who fold weren't defeated by life. They were defeated by their own story. They told themselves, maybe I'm just not cut out for this. They whispered, this shouldn't be this hard. They believed, if I fail, it means I'm not good enough. Lies. All of it. Failure doesn't mean you're not good enough. It means you're in the process of becoming good enough. Falling doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're reaching beyond your comfort zone. So rewrite the story. Tell yourself, every time I fall, I'm proving I'm not afraid to move forward. Tell yourself, every failure is feedback. It's data. It's direction. Tell yourself, I only lose when I fold, and I don't fold. Because what if your next attempt is the one that changes everything? What if the next shot you take lands? What if everything you want is one uncomfortable bounce back away? You don't know, and you won't know unless you keep going. Think about how many people stop just short of the breakthrough. One more rep, one more pitch, one more post, one more audition. But the fear of failing again was louder than the hope of winning. Don't let that be your story. Don't let one bad day define you. Don't let one no, one flop, one almost stop your momentum. You're not here to fold. You're not built to quit. You're here to rise. Even when it hurts. Even when it's slow. Even when nobody claps. Because each time you rise after a fall, you prove something powerful to yourself. That your will is stronger than your wound. That your heart still beats with purpose. That your journey is not over. It's evolving. So yes, fail. Yes, fall. Let it sting. Let it humble you. But never, ever fold. Because champions don't have flawless records. They have unbreakable resolve. And that's who you're becoming. One step, one stumble, one comeback at a time. Let's go. Let's get this straight. Success doesn't take days off. Success doesn't punch a clock. Success doesn't show up when it feels like it. It's working every single day. And if you want it, really want it, you have to match that energy. That doesn't mean you never rest. That doesn't mean you grind yourself into the ground. But it does mean this. You don't just work hard when it's easy. You don't just chase dreams when you feel inspired. You commit day in, day out, even when the motivation's gone and nobody's watching. Because success, it's always moving. While you're making excuses, it's stacking wins. While you're waiting to feel ready, it's passing you by and handing opportunities to the ones who showed up anyway. You think the greats got to the top by working when it was convenient? No way. They were up before the sun. They stayed after everyone else left. They sacrificed comfort to create something greater. And no, they weren't lucky. They were relentless. Let's kill that myth right now. Success isn't luck. It's discipline. It's consistency. It's choosing to put in the work even when it's not paying off yet. Everybody wants success. But not everyone wants the grind that comes with it. They want the trophy, but not the training. They want the applause, but not the hours alone in silence. They want the shine, but not the shadows it takes to get there. That's not how it works. You gotta earn it, and you earn it with action, not talk, not vibes, not waiting for the perfect plan. You move, you execute, you outwork your doubt. Listen while you're sleeping on your goals. Someone else is up building theirs. While you're binging shows, someone else is binging books, reps, and learning. While you're hitting snooze, someone else is hitting the ground running. This isn't about guilt. It's about awareness. Are your habits building the life you say you want? Or are they building a life of regret? Look, the dream doesn't work unless you do. And working doesn't always mean hustling until 3 a.m. Sometimes it's about the boring stuff. Saying no to distractions. Following through on small promises to yourself. Doing what you said you would, long after the mood you said it in is gone. That's the real grind. It's waking up and choosing your future over your feelings. It's staying consistent when it's quiet, when it's unrewarded, when it's lonely. It's remembering why you started when you're tempted to stop. High achievers know this. Success doesn't give handouts. It gives rewards to those who stay ready. So stop waiting for someday. Stop waiting for the right timing. Stop waiting for someone to save you. Notice you, push you. The clock is ticking whether you move or not. And you can't keep pressing pause on your potential. You want something? Stay up for it. Get up early for it. Sacrifice for it. Respect it enough to work for it. Because your competition isn't sleeping. Your future isn't waiting. And your dream, it's watching. Watching to see if you'll take the next step. Watching to see if you really mean it. Watching to see if you're all talk or all in Success doesn't sleep. And if you want to meet it, you've got to wake up, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Wake up to your power. Wake up to your responsibility. Wake up to the fact that no one is coming to push you across the finish line. This is your race, your vision, your shot. So give it everything. Stay hungry. Stay consistent. Stay committed. Because if you sleep on success, it will move on without you. But if you stay locked in, if you grind when no one claps, if you build when no one sees, you'll look back and realize that every sacrifice, every early morning, every lonely night was worth it. Why? Because you'll be standing in the life you built, not the one you settled for. Success doesn't sleep, so don't sleep on yourself. Let's work. The real prize of hard work, it's not the trophy, not the money, not the praise. It's who you become in the process. You become someone who trusts themselves, someone who finishes what they start, someone who knows their word means something. And when you become that person, there's no goal you can't chase. There's no dream too big, because you know you've got the work ethic to back it up. So here's the deal. You've got goals? That's great. You've got vision? Even better. But vision without work is just a fantasy. Get out there and earn it. Let them doubt you. Let them sleep on you. Let them laugh. Because one day, they'll see what hard work built. And when that day comes, smile, because you'll know you didn't get lucky. You worked for it. If this hit home, do yourself a favor, like subscribe and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Let's build something great, one brick at a time.